Hey guys, we are doing page 305 and 306 in our math books. These both are review pages, so I'm not going to do every single problem with you, but I'll tell you which problems that we're going to be doing. We're going to skip number 1, we're going to do number 2, letter A and B, number 3 and number 4. On page 306, we'll do number 6, A, B, and C. We'll skip number 7, we'll do number 8, D, E, and F, and number 9, A and B. Now, I'm not going to do page 306 with you, but I do want to look at page 205. The first problems that we're going to be doing are averaging. I will do one of those problems with you, but I need you to do the other one on your own. It looks like letter B might be a little bit harder, not because I know like you look at small numbers, you're like, oh, it's small numbers, but there's more numbers, which means you're going to be dividing by a bigger number. So let's go ahead and do letter B together. Okay, so we have this really big string of numbers right here. Something that I like to do that kind of makes adding a little bit easier for me is sometimes I'll look for groups of two numbers that I know will equal something easy for me to do. For example, I see right now 6 and 4. I know that 6 plus 4 is 10. So sometimes I try to find numbers that are in groups of 10, and that might help me a little bit with my adding. So I know 6 and 4 equals 10. I know 8 and 7 equals 15. And let's just start with that. So I know 6 plus 4 is 10. 8 plus 7 is 15, so 10 plus 15 is 25. So I know these numbers equal 25. Plus 5 is 30. 30 plus 9 is 39. And then I only have this 7 left, so 39 plus 7 would be 46. 46. And so we have 46. Now I'm not going to write 46 down here, but I will write 6, and then my 4 gets carried over here, and I'm going to add 4 with that 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So I have that 5 and that 6, 56. So my next step is to divide. So I'm going to go ahead and put my division sign. 56 is going to be the number that I'm going to be dividing by. So I need to now count how many numbers I added together. So we'll start with this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a lot of numbers, but there's 8 numbers, so we're going to divide by 8. And you might look at this and say, oh, I know this one right off the top of my head. We have 8 into 56. So how many times will 8 go into 56? You should have said 7 times, because 8 will go into 56 7 times. So put a 0 above that 5, put a 7 above that 6, and 7 times 8 is 56. We subtract, it will go all the way to 0, and my answer is 7 for number 2, letter B. I want you to do number 2, letter A on your own. Okay, it's just some averaging. We're just adding our numbers together and then dividing our answer. Whatever answer we get, we're dividing that by the number of things that we added together. So we had 8 things that we added, 8 numbers, so we divided by 8 over here. You're doing the same thing with number 2, letter A. Number 3, we are multiplying 49 times 62. Now, before we start with this, I will say they do want us to check our work, which means after we're finished multiplying, we're going to take this 49 and 62 and rewrite it over here, but we're going to flip our numbers over. So it'll be 49 on the bottom and 62 on the top. So let's go ahead and get started with the multiplying. So we have 6 times, or no, not 6, this is 2 right here. 2 times 9, 2 times 9 is 18, so we're going to start with 18. 8 goes here, 1 gets carried. Then we're going to take this 2 times the 4 over here. 2 times 4 is 8, plus the 1 is 9. All right, and that's all we're doing for that first step. Our next step, easy, easy, easy. All we have to do is write a 0. And where are we writing the 0? Writing it right below this 8. Writing a 0 right there. That's always our next step after we're finished multiplying this 1's place. So we're finished multiplying this 1's place. 2 times 49 is 98. Put a 0 right there. Our next step is to multiply this 6 times this 9. 6 times 9, that's 54, because 6 times 9 is 54. So I have 4 down here, and 5 goes up here, but I already have a 1. So what do I do? What do I do? Well, I'm going to cross that 1 out since I already used it. I'm going to write a 5 above the 1. So now I know that my carried number is 5. So I'm going to now take this 6 times the 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus the 5 is 29. Draw a line below and go ahead and add these numbers together. 8 plus 0 is 8. 9 plus 4, what we have? 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. And this is my answer for number 3. But we're not done because we still need to check. So make sure, again, you're taking these two numbers, writing them over here, except instead of having 49 times 62 over here, you're putting 62 on top and 49 on the bottom, and you're multiplying those numbers together. And make sure that your answers that you get for both numbers match. My problem for number 4, we have n plus 3 equals 5 minus 4 in parentheses times 3. So my first step is easy. We're just going to copy this down. N plus 3. That's all we got to do for the first step. So copy down n plus 3, and then that equal sign. And it's been a while since we've done this kind of problem together, but I do want to mention, make sure that this equal sign, any equal sign that you write in this problem, needs to be in a straight line all the way down. Straight line all the way down. You need to line up your equal signs because that will help you stay a little bit more organized. It's not really going to make a really big difference right now in 3rd grade, but if you get that practice in right now of always lining up your equal signs in a straight line, it will make things so much easier for you when you get into maybe 5th, 6th grade and even into high school, like big high school maths. If you get in that habit of doing that, it will really, really, really help you when you get into bigger maths. So our next step after we copy this down and put our equal sign right there is to solve this right here. Now, if you remember, whenever we have parentheses, do we do those parentheses first, last, or does it not matter? Right, we do the parentheses first. So I know 5 minus 4. I can do that in my head. 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So above 5 minus 4, I'm just going to write 1, just so I know what 5 minus 4 is. And now I'm doing 1 times 3. Well, again, I can do that in my head. 1 times 3. Anything times 1 is the same number, so 1 times 3 is going to be 3. Then I'm going to come over here, and I have a plus sign right here. I'm going to do the opposite of that. So the opposite of plussing is minusing. So we're going to put minus, and then I need to get rid of this 3. By doing that, I need to put 3, and then my equal sign, lining it up in a straight line. And then I have this minus 3 over here. If I put minus 3 over here, I need to put the same thing over here to make sure that they stay balanced and even. So I'm going to put minus 3, and then I'm going to draw a straight line all the way across. And I have n plus 3 minus 3. That's going to leave me with just that n. So we're going to write an n equals, again, keeping it straight, n equals, and over here I have 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. So my answer is n equals 0. And we do need to check this one. The way we're going to check it is we're going to take this first original problem up here, we're going to copy it down. N plus 3 equals, in the parentheses, 5 minus 4 times 3. So I have this n can be replaced by a number. What number can replace n? N is equal to what? Equal to 0. So I can say 0 plus 3 equals 5 minus 4 times 3. 5 minus 4, like we said up there, is equal to 1. And then 1 times 3 is 3. And then I have this 3 plus 0. Well, anything plus 0 is going to be the same number. So 3 plus 0 is 3. Does 3 equal 3? Absolutely it does. So we're going to go ahead and check that answer. Like I said before, we're finished with page 305 now. I'm not going to work through the problems on 306. It's just lesser than, greater than, things like that that you already know. It's adding and subtracting and multiplying, which you already know how to do. That fractional part, I took a look at it. It's something I feel like you should be able to do without me helping you. So I want you to, again, do it on your own. So make sure you finish these 2 pages of math.